everybody, and welcome back to Simple Sounds. Today we are going to be reading from, we're starting Joshua, the book of Joshua. So I hope you will join me in reading through the book of Joshua. It's basically talking about when we have struggles. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to read Joshua. So let's get started. Joshua 1. God's command to Joshua. After Moses, the servant of the Lord, died, the Lord spoke to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' assistant. The Lord said, "My servant Moses is dead. Now you and all these people go across the Jordan River into the land I'm giving to the Israelites. I promised Moses I would give you this land, so I will give you every place you go in the land. All the land from the great river, the Euphrates, in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west will be yours too, including the land of the Hittites. No one will be able to defeat you all your life, just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you or forget you. Joshua, be strong and brave. You must lead these people so they can take the land that I promised their fathers I would give them. Be strong and brave. Be sure to obey all the teachings my servant Moses gave you. If you follow them exactly, you will be successful in everything you do. Always remember what is written in the book of the teaching. Study it day and night to be sure to obey everything that is written there. If you do this, you will be wise and successful in everything. Remember that I commanded you to be strong and brave. Don't be afraid, because the Lord your God will be with you everywhere you go." Joshua's orders to the people. Then Joshua gave orders to the officer of the people. "Go through the camp and tell the people, get your supplies ready. 3 days from now, you will cross the Jordan River and take the land the Lord your God is giving you." Then Joshua said to the people of Reuben, Gad, and East Manasseh, "Remember what Moses, the servant of the Lord, told you. He said, 'Your Lord, your God, would give you rest and would give you this land. Now the Lord has given you this land east of the Jordan River. Your wives, children, and animals may stay here, but your fighting men must dress for war and cross the Jordan River ahead of your brothers to help them. The Lord has given you a place to rest and will do the same for your brothers. But you must help them until they take the land the Lord their God is giving them. Then you may return to your own land east of the Jordan River, the land that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you. Then the people answered Joshua, "Anything you command us to do, we will do. Any place you send us, we will go. Just as we fully obeyed Moses, we will obey you. We ask only that the Lord your God be with you, just as he was with Moses. Whoever refuses to obey your commands or turns against you will be put to death. Just be strong and brave." Joshua 2. Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent out 2 spies from Acacia and said to them, "Go and look at the land, particularly at the city of Jericho." So the men went to Jericho and stayed at the house of a prostitute named Rahab. Someone told the king of Jericho, "Some men from Israel have come here tonight to spy out the land." So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab, "Bring out the men who came to you and enter your house. They have come to spy out our whole land." But the woman had hidden the 2 men. She said, "They did come here, but I didn't know where they came from. In the evening, when it was time to close the city gate, they left. I don't know where they went, but if you go quickly, maybe you can catch them." The woman had taken the men up to the roof and had hidden them there under stacks of flax that she had spread out. So the king's men went out looking for the spies on the road that leads to the crossing of the Jordan River. The city gate was closed just after the king's men left the city. Before the spies went to sleep up for the night, Rahab went up to the roof. She said to them, "I know the Lord has given this land to your people. You frighten us very much. Everyone living in this land is terribly afraid of you because we have heard how the Lord dried up the Red Sea when you came out of Egypt. We have heard how you destroyed Sihon and Og, 2 Amorite kings who lived east of the Jordan. When we heard this, we were very frightened. Now our men are afraid to fight you because the Lord your God rules the heavens above and the earth below. So now promise me before the Lord that you will show kindness to my family just as I showed kindness to you. Give me some proof that you will do this. Allow my father, mother, brother, sisters, and all of their families to live. Save us from death." The men agreed and said, "It will be our lives for your lives if you don't tell anyone what we are doing. When the Lord gives us the land, we will be kind and true to you." The house Rahab lived in was built on the city wall, so she used a rope to let the men down through a window. She said to them, "Go into the hills so the king's men will not find you. Hide there for 3 days. After the king's men return, you may go on your way." The men said to her, "You must do as we say. If not, we cannot be responsible for keeping this oath you have made us swear. When we return to this land, you must tie this rope in the window through which you let us down. Bring your father, mother, brothers, and all your family into your house. If anyone leaves your house and is killed, it is his own fault. We cannot be responsible for him. If anyone in your house is hurt, we will be responsible. But if you tell anyone about this, we will be free from the oath you made us swear." Rahab answered, "I agree to this." So she sent them away, and they left. Then she tied the rope in the window. The men left and went into the hills, where they stayed for 3 days. The king's men looked for them all along the road, but after 3 days they returned to the city without finding them. Then the 2 men started back. They left the hills and crossed the river and came to Joshua, son of Nun, and told him everything that had happened to them. They said, "The Lord surely has given us all of the land. All the people in the land are terribly afraid of us." Life lesson. Joshua 1 through 2:24. Situation. The story of Joshua begins after the death of Moses. God appointed Joshua to lead the Israelites across the Jordan River into the land of Canaan. Observation. God establishes leaders to fulfill his plan. God brings success when we follow his appointed leader. Inspiration. Leaders don't lead forever, even godly leaders like Moses. There comes a time in every ministry when God calls for a new beginning with a new generation and a new leadership. Except for Joshua and Caleb, the old generation of Jews had perished during the nation's wandering in the wilderness, and Joshua was commissioned to lead the new generation into a new challenge, entering and conquering the promised land. God buries his workmen, but his work goes on. It was God who had chosen Joshua, and everybody in Israel knew that he was their new leader. Over the years, I've seen churches and parachurch ministries flounder and almost destroy themselves in futile attempts to embalm the past and escape the future. Their theme song was, "As it was in the beginning, so shall it ever be. World without end." Often I've prayed with and for godly Christian leaders who were criticized, persecuted, and attacked simply because they had a divine commission to lead a ministry into the new fields of conquest, but the people would not follow. A wise leader doesn't completely abandon the past, but builds on it as he or she moves towards the future. Moses is mentioned 57 times in the book of Joshua, evidence that Joshua respected Moses and what he had done for Israel. Joshua worshipped the same God that Moses had worshipped, and he obeyed the same word that Moses had given to the nation. There was continuity from one leader to the next, but there wasn't always conformity. For each leader is different and must maintain his or her individuality. Twice in these verses, Moses is called God's servant, but Joshua was also the servant of God. The important thing is not the servant, but the master. From Be Strong by Warren Wiersbe. Application. Think of church leaders who have recently taken on new responsibilities and pray for them. Ask for the Lord's strength and wisdom in their ministry. Then follow up your prayers with words and deeds of encouragement and help. Gosh, what comes to mind when I'm reading that was what people must have been thinking. I mean, it's different. Like back then, you see more, or I should say, God's miracles were more visible. when here God's works are more spiritual, more, there's still miracles. There's still a lot of miracles here. But I don't know, like I think back and I'm like, man, it takes, you gotta have faith. And I think we've become so dependent on our own self for us to be in a group setting and someone say, yeah, I am the leader and this is what God is telling me. Let's, everybody follow me. That has to be scary. I think that's when we have to have that connection with God in order to have the discernment of what direction to take. And really, I feel like it's so difficult to do that now. Maybe not. Maybe if we step back into time, they had their own distractions. They had their own goals, but they don't have what we have here, which was, YouTube videos, people talking about your self-worth, and people talking about how you need to fight for your right, and you need to take care of you, me. And I think we have become that world where we don't feel or we don't hear God clearly like they used to, like in the Bible. We don't hear it we're not clear, we're not sure because of so many distractions that we have on a daily basis. So I really pray that everyone continues this journey. It's a journey to get closer and closer to God, and the more we do it, the more we will feel confident, the more we will just feel good, be able to feel confident that God is taking control and God is working in our lives. And we need to keep that positivity going. We need to have that hope as Christians. Be positive, be encouraging to others, and help others see the positivity in things. Share their hope, or share your hope with them. Hey, this happened, yes, but you know what? Let's focus on the positive. And hey, but I'm working on it, and God's working in my life. And keep it positive. And I think if we do that with each other, what a support system. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. So I pray for you guys. I really hope that you continue your journey and keep following Him, keep reaching, keep connecting. It really makes a difference. Oh, it really makes a big difference. So I hope you enjoy this video, and we will see you next time.